Cool, cool. So we're going to record the call today, our Saturday leaders call. We do every single week. I just want to shout out you guys really quick for being on the line. Alex is here, even though she doesn't have to be. Crystal is on the call. Eric is up in here. Jacques is on the line. Caitlin on the call this morning. We got Marin over here. Mason, Rachel, welcome. Tony, welcome. Let's go. Let's get it. Oh, you're having tech issues. Everything good? Let us know if you need some assistance. Okay, so guys, the topic of today's call is really for us to talk about. Well, I'm going to talk about it, but I want to host some sort of discussion as well because I think there creates some sort of like accountability, and I really took note of that from the other night. I know some of you guys jumped on the call with us. If you guys know who Sloppy is, he's like literally Alex Morton's like right-hand man type of dude. He's been, in our profession, in the game for over a decade now. And he really threw down a training for us on how to properly and effectively invite. And it was very cool. It was very different. But it was just like showing us how simple and casual you can be when it comes to inviting people. And what he did on that call is he kind of like called on people, like calling people forward to interact and just practice on, in front of everybody. And yeah, it was uncomfortable. Yeah, it was like, ooh, I sound awkward. I don't sound good. Like, pulling us outside of our comfort zones. But that interactive, ness that we did on the call together, I think it really helped. It helped me, even though I really wasn't doing a lot. I was just kind of watching you guys, but I know that it helped whoever was speaking up, whoever was doing something. So much more than maybe just sitting there with your camera off, because now you're like practicing. Now you're like, put on the spot and thinking creatively and finding a solution and, just putting yourself on your toes and making it happen. So I want to start to kind of implement, whole point of me saying that is I want to start to kind of implement that with these calls, maybe not do examples like that every single call because that can drag out, but at least getting some sort of like interactive discussion. Because I think we learn in different ways. And I think Christian said this one time, you want to, whatever you're doing, find ways to add all of your senses to whatever you're trying to learn, whatever you're trying to master, whatever you're practicing. Anyways, you guys get my point. So today's topic is really all about, I have a question for you guys. So really about, what are you going to make a lifestyle for yourself? And I said, what are you going to make a lifestyle for yourself this year? But it's not even about this year. It's about the long haul. It's about playing the long game and really asking yourself. And I say this all the time, and I feel like I sound like a broken record, but this is literally how every like successful, like look at like Drake, right? Drake started out, I don't even know how long ago, but he's still here. He's still relevant. He's still consistent. He's still concrete in his profession, in the game. Why? Right? Because he's not just thinking about the short term, he's thinking about the long term. He's thinking about the decisions that he's making today and not how they're going to affect him tomorrow or in 30 days, but how they're going to play out in 12 months, in 2 years, in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years. And that's how I've been starting to operate in really like approaching my life and making like what I do a lifestyle. And I've heard this talked about before where, maybe we'll say, oh yeah, how many hours I have to put into building this business, or how many hours I have to put into trading or prospecting or whatever it is. It's like, look, dude, sis, like this is a lifestyle. Like it's not, I don't think like that. You know what I mean? So we want to shift the way that we think about things so we can get a different result. So we can start to take new action. So our first question for you guys is, what are you going to make a lifestyle for yourself? Not just this year, in general. And if you guys are on the call, the leadership call that was done this week on Wednesday, with Chairman 10 Steve Max, that call was insane. Like he threw down so many nuggets, like so many different like ways of just looking at what we do and giving us that perspective. I'm so glad that I jumped on because that was my mom's last night in town. And I was like, oh, like you don't need to jump on, like go spend time with your mom. And like, yes, I spent time with my mom, but like, man, I felt like I needed to be there. Anyways, he talked about a few things on that call. Where was I going with this? All right, I'm going on a tangent. Anyways, he talked about a few things on that call that really stuck out to me. I think they have the recording. You can go back and watch it. But anyways, I wanted to get down to what are you going to make a lifestyle this year for yourself, okay? And I want to reiterate, because I know there's a couple new people that we just had conversations with from this last week. Really, the whole purpose, goal, vision of doing these calls. Number one is the purpose to develop your leadership skills, to develop your influence, grow your influence, and develop and grow your mindset. Okay, that's really the core of the topics that are stemming from what we're doing, where we're going, and why we're doing it with these weekly calls. Okay. The goal is every week to provide value in these areas, okay? To not only build your belief, but to bring clarity, to bring guidance and perspective in the direction of your goals, okay? And my personal vision, you have your own vision, okay, for like what you're doing, where you're going. And I also have a vision, okay, that I see all of you guys a part of, or at least those that are serious and showing up, things like that, okay? Vision, my personal vision that I see for you guys is not just to hang out here with me. Like, that's fun, that's cool. Like, I appreciate you guys, I love you guys. But it's to help you graduate from this group, from this inner circle, and into, yes, we have Mike's, P600 group. He does a call pretty much like once a month together with us. But it's really to get you into new hands of leadership, okay? New conversations, new levels of energy, because I believe that that's how we're going to really grow. It's not just by hearing one person. I'm not the end all be all, and I hope that you guys don't turn to these calls as a way to motivate you, as a way to just like this is only your personal development, or this is how you're going to get motivated to get back on the grind or whatever. Like, that's not what these calls are about. I don't even look at myself like that. I'm here to point, guide, and direct you to how you can become your best self. And I have a responsibility and obligation when I help you get started, because I'm working with you, or because I saw something in you. Like, I made a decision. I want to work with this person because I saw that they're hungry, they're coachable, they want to grow, and they really want to make something of themselves. So I want to help you. Basically, the bottom line is graduate from this group into Christian's inner circle. And by doing that, you have to go Platinum 600, and not just go hit P600, because we've all been there. If you've hit a rank and maybe you've D-ranked before, okay, it's not about hitting the rank. It's not about the achievement itself. It's about who you're becoming in the process to get there. It would suck if you got to a certain result that you were wanting to hit, and then 30 days later, a week later, whatever, you lose it because you weren't developed enough to handle it. You weren't even developed enough to sustain it. Okay. We don't want to hit something. We don't want to hit Platinum 600. We want to break through it. Like how we promote to events. We're not promoting to an event. We're promoting through events. It doesn't matter. Like, yes, it matters what happens at the event, but what actually matters is what happens after. How do you sustain that growth, that momentum, that new blood, that new energy? Are you developed for that? So this whole thing is about the process. It's not even about the destination. You're going to get there because you become the right person. So that's where I want us to make our focus. Okay. And I made this post the other day on my story, and I got a lot of people to slide up on it. Like, damn, like I never heard it that way before. Like, you guys know who Andy Cowabunga is, Chairman 10. He was like, I'm stealing this. This is that good. And it talked about how it's just unpopular opinion or conversation, but how, and even to myself, I'm talking to myself. Okay. Maybe we would actually not only hit our goals, but break through our goals if we stop focusing on just the goal. Just like when we help the newest person get started and all they're focused on is just making money. Okay. You'll probably and then they don't make any money, right? You'll probably end up hitting your goal if you take your focus off of just hitting the goal and actually focusing on the right habits that create the goal, that build you through your goal. And so that's what this call is about today. Okay. I went on a little bit of a tangent, but I wanted to give you guys that. And then we'll go from here. So what are you going to make a lifestyle this year? I've talked about it a little bit already. This call gave you kind of an overview. Type in the chat. I think the chat's on. Type in the chat just maybe one thing or whatever comes to your mind that you want to make a lifestyle this year. I, I, I'm reading them. And I'm also getting some content. All right, how to do that. Okay, let's see. What do we want to make a lifestyle? Traveling the world. I like it. Higher wealth for myself. Okay. Traveling. Got it. Working out every day. Being consistent. Trade and travel. Waking up early. Developing healthier habits. Consistency. Personal development. Okay. Appreciate you guys. I want you to really think about this. Health. Yeah. I want you to really think about this answer for yourself, because your lifestyle creates everything about your future, your results, your outcome, everything. It dictates what, like, you guys ever heard that? I try not to watch a lot of Instagram reels, but I only watch them because I'm trying to get ideas for myself. You guys ever heard the one that's like, if you don't break the habit, then the loop will continue tomorrow? Something like that. You guys heard that before? You know what I'm talking about? All right, anyways, it's like, it's the same thing. If you don't break what you're doing now, it's going to just continue tomorrow, and you're going to be in the same cycle again. Okay. It's very important that we're aware of that. So I wrote down a couple things, just kind of wanted to get you guys flowing with like where you're at. But I can tell you right now, like, I want to personally make, and no, there's no right or wrong answer. I'm just giving you an example. Okay. But I think as a collective, you want to go to the next level. You want to create and have and build what you guys just put in the chat. I 100% believe that growth, personally developing yourself, and productivity, being a productive human being, has to be like a staple in your life. It has to become a lifestyle. Because if you're not growing, if you're not being productive, like, what is growth being? It means it equals happiness. We hear this all the time. Tony Robbins talks about it. Growth equals happiness. And if you're not productive, guess what you're doing? You're talking about other people. You're in your own head. You're consumed with your own problems. You're focused on your excuses. You're maybe, getting distracted really easily. You're consumed with the drama. Like, you're judging other people, opinions, like whatever. Okay. If you're not productive, if you're not being productive with whatever you're doing, then what are you doing? Right. And I just think about that with trading. I think about that with, the business. I think about that with my health and my fitness. Like, how am I being productive? It's an all areas type of thing with whatever you want to, focus on. But how are you being productive every single day? What are you doing to be productive? Because that productivity is going to help you create the results that you want. That growth that you're focusing on, that personal development that you're focusing on for yourself, is what's going to allow you to handle the things that are happening in your life, the challenges, the problems, the adversities, the whatever. Okay. The bullshit that just happens, that happens unexpectedly, even though we should not really, we shouldn't have expectations on, like, things that we can't control. But I wanted to share that because it's very important. If we adopt the mentality and the focus and the approach in our life of, growth and productivity as a lifestyle, like, have your goal. Maybe it's platinum 600 by March Madness, platinum 1000 by March Madness. Like, whatever your goal is, make sure it has a date next to it. Otherwise, a goal without a date is just a wish. Okay. Whatever your goal is, okay, have that written down, have that notated on your wall, know what your goal is with your date, and then put it away. You can see it every day. I'm not trying to knock, like, don't look at your goal. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, don't, like, just make that your focus. Because when you just make, like, okay, here's a great example. Okay. When I'm not doing well in business, okay, maybe I'm like not personally enrolling as much, or maybe I'm not even like prospecting or following up. Like, when I've been there before, I'll try to find other ways to feel productive, to feel like I'm winning, to feel like I'm moving forward. Do you guys get what I'm trying to say? Do you guys ever feel like that in your life, where it's almost like, if you're not doing the things, like being productive in the areas that you need to be, have you ever caught yourself maybe saying things like it's not like it happened yet, or maybe it was just something very small that you did, saying things to make yourself feel like you're winning, or make yourself feel like you're being productive, or make yourself feel like you're actually doing something? I've caught myself doing that before, and I really, like, there's a very, like, fine difference between the two. you have to be, and this is a lot of self-awareness, you have to be very self-aware of like what you're doing and the reasons why you're doing it. Okay. If you know that you haven't been productive in like building the business or even jumping on go live or trying to, take practice trades or whatever the case is, and then maybe you're going and doing something else to try to fill in that gap, to fill in that void of making yourself feel like you're being productive, even though like you're not. And I can say that because I've done that before. We have to check ourselves, because you're just going to find yourself in the same spot. And that was maybe a deep comment. Maybe some of us are like, I don't know what you're talking about, Abby. And then some of us are like, holy shit, you hit me right here. Like I do that. Okay. We need to make growth and productivity a lifestyle, and you need to figure out for yourself. And hopefully I can give you some cues and some insight on this call of how you can implement that. It's not really even about the how. It's just like, go do it. I talked with somebody the other day and he was like, I feel like you follow up with me every year. We've been talking for like 4 years. And I was like, well, have you figured out a way on how to, get your money to work for you yet? And he said, well, no, but I'm happy. And I said, okay, happiness is key. That's all that matters. I only followed up with you because at one point you told me that you were looking to make more money and you were sick and tired of your job. And he was like, yeah, I know. And then he like totally like bombed his first initial line that he told me about being happy. And then he went and told me, how he's, he just feels like he has so many different opportunities and he doesn't know which one to choose. And I'm bringing that back to this. Okay. It's not about that. I read somewhere where it basically said it's not about the lack of opportunities. It's about the lack of action. We have opportunities all the time. We have opportunities every single day to grow up, to make things happen, to be productive, to turn ourselves around, to do whatever. It's the lack of action as to why we don't. Okay. And I can promise you, wherever you're at in your life right now, if you don't make growth and productivity a lifestyle, what are you making a lifestyle? You will probably find yourself, and I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not trying to be negative, I'm not trying to put a ceiling on you or anything like that. I'm just being real. The truth hurts, but it'll set you free type of thing, right? If you do not adopt this and you keep doing what you're doing right now for the next 12 months, okay, next 2 years, you're going to be in the same spot and you're going to be kicking yourself and be like, what the hell? I feel like I'm doing all the right things, but I'm not getting the results. Okay. Growth and productivity and actually getting to the next level and actually creating the results that you want in your life isn't just about going through the motions because somebody tells you to. You have to learn how to think correctly about things. And this is what if you guys we're listening to out here in Arizona, shout out to Moran for putting us on, Outwitting the Devil, thinking correctly. Okay. He talks about that. Thinking, how you think, take control of your thoughts. Like just because maybe I give you something to do doesn't mean like, yes, you do it or, you follow instructions. But like, if you notice like, man, I'm prospecting 10 to 20 people a day, but I'm not even getting 2 exposures. Okay. It's not the script. It's probably you in the way that you're doing whatever you're doing. And that's not a bad, like, it's not like, oh, like, you're not good enough. That's not what I'm saying. It's maybe you need to go work on you in the way that you're approaching the conversation, in the way that you see things. How you see things is stem from how you believe. Okay. I know I'm going like maybe all over the place, but I'm trying to get to the root of the problem here. Okay, we can be given a task, we can be given how to do something, but why is it that if 10 people are giving the same thing, all 10 of us do it differently? Why? Because it's the way that we are seeing what we're given. It's the way that we are seeing what we're doing. Okay. And I really want you guys to be aware of that. Everything that we do is stemmed from what we believe in ourselves. Okay. We are projecting onto other people, our beliefs, our thoughts, our ways of thinking, everything. So you really have to become self-aware of like, okay, man, like if I'm not even getting 2 exposures a day and I'm talking to 10 people every day, 20 people every day, like maybe I need to do a little bit of self-reflection. Maybe I need to take a couple steps back and like ask myself, what am I actually saying? Like how, not even like what am I saying? Because you're probably saying the right things, probably, but how is my energy when I'm saying it? Okay. It's not even about what you're saying, but it's more about like how you're saying it. Cool. Okay. So I want to give you guys some like tangible things that you can take away from this call. And hopefully you guys are getting value so far. So I wrote down a few things that I want to give you. Okay. I'm going to give you 4 productive like DMOs. Okay. DMOs stand for daily methods daily method of operations. And these are, and I'm going to give you a great example. Okay. I think there's quite the difference between investing and trading, or investing and just building the business. Like there's a difference between, okay, cool, I'm going to put $50 in this week to my trading or to my portfolio, versus let me go help one or two people get started this week. There's a difference, right? One requires you to just like have a plan and just take that money that you have and put it in. It's very systematic. And yes, the other, when it comes to helping people get started, is also systematic. We need a system, but there's a lot of emotions that go involved. Same thing with trading. There's a lot of emotions that are involved. With investing, you're just putting money in. The only time you have emotions is like if you broke as a joke and you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're like, I don't know if I could do this. Like, we need to obviously solve that problem, but there's a difference. Okay. But I'm telling you that because of what I'm about to share with you next. Okay. I'm going to give you 4 productive DMOs to ensure that you rank advance in the next 30 to 60 to 90 days. Okay. If you do this and you take self accountability of like, not only am I going to follow this, but like, how am I being while I'm doing this? Okay. And you maybe ask questions, or you find accountability, and you study, and you show up and you figure out like, how do some of the best speak? Okay. Watch Jason Brown, watch Matt Rosa, watch Ray Hagden, watch Alex Morton, watch whoever you like are kind of drawn to the most with their personality, their compatibility, whatever. Okay. This is going to help you rank advanced, whether it's platinum 150 for the very first time, whether it's platinum 600 for the second or third time. Okay. We talking. I get it. Right. Or maybe you're going to go platinum 1000, or maybe you're going to go P2K, or maybe it's not even about you rank advancing. Maybe it's about the fact that, okay, I've gone platinum 6, I've gone P1000, but who do I need to help on my team rank advance that has never done that before, but's hungry and wanting to do that, right? So 4 things. Number 1, you guys ever heard of like them talk about the 4 things, or really it's the 3 things that we get paid for, the 3 Ps: prospect, present, promote. You should write that down. Prospect, present, promote. Those are things, the 3 Ps that I'm implementing every single day: prospecting, presenting, and promoting. And I may not be presenting a full-on presentation every single day. Like, I'm trying to work smarter with my time. So if there's already a Zoom call happening, I'm just going to plug people in. If there's already an event in my city, I'm just going to plug people in. Okay. So when I say present, I may be doing the presentation, or I'm sharing the presentation with 2 people or 3 people or 5 people, whatever. Okay. Promoting. And then the 4th thing that I added that I hear a lot of the leaders talk about is personal development. So the 4 Ps. Okay. The first one is prospect. And I would say you're going to have your numbers, you're going to have your minimums. Okay. You're just know that your maximums become your minimum. So whatever you have as like your standard, that is going to fall as your minimum. Okay. So I say prospect 10 people. If you have more, stay crushing it with more. I'm saying if you're not doing anything at all, you need to start with like 10. Just saying. Okay. If you go with 5, you're gonna be upset with yourself in 90 days because you didn't talk to enough people. 10 is still like even borderline, but we'll do 10. Okay. 10 people. Talk to 10, prospect 10 new people every single day with the mindset, not like anxious energy, but with the mindset of like, your intention is to share this with 2 people. So out of the 10, 15 people that you talk to, I'm going to share this with 1 to 2 people. Okay. Cool. That's number 1. Number 2, I have following up with your exposures. Following up with your exposures. So number 1 and number 2 kind of go hand in hand with prospecting and presenting. But just keep it going with me. Following up with your exposures. Follow up with people that said yes to watching the video, that said yes, that they are open to creating another stream of income. Follow up with those people. I don't know how you whatever works for you. If you've got to write their names down on physical paper, if you're going to work with Trello, like however you work best, and maybe you don't even know, so you have to experiment. Maybe you do both. Like, I remember I was doing paper for like a week and I was like, I cannot do this. I need something that's like a little bit more organized and detailed. So I went to Trello. Okay. So follow up with your exposures. Number 3, leadership skills and personal development. Okay. some sort of personal development around you developing your skills to build this business, your leadership, your influence, your mindset. Okay. I think influence, I'm not even really like, I don't know. I'm not like the person to be talking about influence yet. I'm still developing myself, but I think influence isn't like something you just study. Like you can study somebody else, but you have to go, as like anything, you have to go and implement it. You have to go and like put it out there, put into practice, and just I think it's just what I'm trying to say is like it's repetition. Like Kobe probably didn't have a lot of influence right away. Like he built his influence. Michael Jackson, whoever you want to look up to, Jason Brown, right? Jason probably, and I know he didn't have a lot of influence when he first got started with this. It was something that was built over time through practice and repetition and showing up, okay, and having that hunger and desire to be better and to grow. So having some sort of personal development regimen that you're following on a day-to-day basis. Out here in Arizona, we have that audio that we're listening to, Outwitting the Devil. It's something that I try to listen to at least a few minutes every single day, alongside of the book that I'm reading, alongside of whatever's a part of my daily personal development. You have to have your own, and it doesn't need to be this whole ginormous thing. Just if you only have 20 minutes, focus on those 20 minutes to develop your skills in that area, to develop your leadership, develop your mindset in that area. Okay. Personal development. And then the last thing is promotion. And promotion can be kind of done in a few different ways with a few different meanings. The one that I put on here, okay, is promoting on social media. You can also, when they say promote, they're talking about promoting, yes, on social, but they're really talking about promoting calls. They say like promotion is one of the highest paid skills that you can have. You ever heard I don't know the names off the top of my head, but like look at, I think it's Mike Tyson. One of y'all can correct me, but I think it was like Don King or something. He was like a famous promoter, and he promoted for like a famous boxer, but Don King made more money as a promoter than whoever he was promoting as a boxer. Like and he was like really famous or whatever. I forget what his name was. But it was a big deal. Okay. And that's why they say like promotion is the highest paid skill, because of like the outcome, the result, if you do it right, if you do it consistently, if you do it long enough. So promoting calls, promoting to your team, promoting in the group, like what are you being a product of the product with, things like that. Okay. But I'm talking about here, yes, we should do those things. But I'm talking about on this call, promoting on your social. Okay. And you have to ask yourself, where are you at right now with all these things that I just shared with you? I'll share my screen and I'll put it on here for you. 1 second. Asking yourself, where are you at with these 4 things? Hold on, my team is being all weird. All right, let me share this for you guys. Where are you at with these 4 things? Are you like consistently, are you doing 0 a day right now? Transparency, ask yourself. You don't need to tell the whole group unless you really want to, okay? Are you doing 10 a day? Are you doing 15 a day? Are you doing 20 a day? And you're like, Abby, I'm not getting anywhere when I'm doing 20 a day. Okay. What are we doing while we're doing 20 a day? How is your approach? Maybe you need to give it a little bit more time. You're like, Abby, I've given it a lot of time. Okay. How is your energy while you're talking to people? There's so many different factors. We don't need to go onto that and onto this call. Message me on the side about it. Okay. Where are you at with your follow-ups? Are you even following it? These are 4 things that we can do. Okay, I'm not giving you like a list of 10. I'm giving you a few things that are going to help you, like not just rank advance and make an extra stream of income through the residual side, but like grow yourself. Really, really grow. Guys, I promise you, let me do this and then I'll say what I was going to say. So I'm going to go on a tangent again. Follow up with your exposures. Okay. Leadership and skills personal development. Who are you listening to? Great people that you can listen to for this. John Maxwell. Okay. Ray Higdon. Jessie Lee. She has a great podcast. I love watching her on her Instagram whenever she makes a post. I'm just always stealing little things that she talks about. Okay. Those are just a few people on top of my head. Even, you can listen to Eric Worre. He has some stuff on his Instagram. But I like Ray Higdon a lot. I like Jessie Lee. And for a lot of like leadership based stuff, John Maxwell's really good too. Okay. And then the last thing is promote on your social media. I'll be transparent. So I'm not the best at any of these. I just show up and try to be the best that I can be. Okay. That's the difference. But I have a call tomorrow with somebody that, and I'm going to talk about this in just a second, that is going to help me with kind of like my social. It's not even like about what, like maybe like, yeah, what to post, but it's more so about like finding like a niche to be consistent. The only reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because I understand when I need help and I need to reach out. And a lot of times we maybe don't reach out, even though we know that we need help. And I'm going to pay this girl like $200 tomorrow so that she can help me with my social. It's because I know like my social media is the reason, like in the digital era that we live in. I'm not saying you need to go and pay $200 for somebody to help you with your social. Okay. That's not what I'm saying. You need to figure out where you're at first. I've been doing this for God knows how long. And I'm like, yep, I need help. I need some assistance. I need some pointing, guiding, and directing with what I'm trying to do. Okay. And I wrote this down the other day about mentorship. And I think this is really important. And I think it's relevant to what I'm saying on this call, because sometimes we can continue to go through the motions of whatever we're doing and not get the results that we want, but we never reach out for help. And I'm not saying you need to go invest $200, but what I am saying is you need to open your mouth if you want a different result. You're not probably going to find the answer by just listening to you. You got yourself here. That's great. But like, you want to go here. And I wrote this down when it comes to mentors. Okay. Think of, I wrote it down so I can read it to you, but think of information like puzzle pieces. Okay. And look at it like this. There's thousands of different puzzles, like completed puzzles. There's thousands, tens of thousands of different puzzles with millions, multi-millions of different pieces to the puzzle. Okay. Mentors, when you reach out for help, mentors take all that information, okay, all the puzzle pieces, and they put the puzzle together for you. Not for you, sorry. They kind of show you the direction of where to put the puzzles pieces together. Oh, this piece goes to this puzzle. This piece goes to this puzzle. But now you implement that information and you put it together. They make it make sense. And I'm sharing this with you because sometimes like you're going to get this information after this call and you're going to hopefully go and try to implement it. But if you're not seeing like if you're like, Abby, like I went and implemented this, it's been like a couple weeks, it's been a week, it's been whatever. And I just don't feel like it's like, I just don't feel like I'm moving where I need to move. You need to speak up. You need to speak up, because I promise you, you're going to find yourself in the same place. And the worst feeling that the fear that I have is being in the same spot year after year. Okay. So leadership and skills, personal development. And then lastly, promoting on social media. Okay. There needs to be some sort of social media like plan that you have. And if you don't have a plan right now, that's okay. If you're not doing anything on your social, okay, we got to start there. I will tell you that people, like, there's a whole entire online market as well as an offline market. Okay. If you're better offline, that's great. But I can promise you, you're missing, like, it's like, okay, I'm going to put $200 on the table for Bitcoin, or like, okay, I have a whole Bitcoin on the table. That's not a good example. I have $200 on each side of the table. Okay. Are you going to just take one, or are you going to take the other? You're going to take both. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Don't leave one on the table when you just need to focus on learning how to promote better on your social. Okay. If you guys have questions around it, this call isn't about the how. This is just what you guys need to go and do to help you grow in these areas. Okay. The last thing that I was going to share with you guys, where is it at? Okay. The last thing I was going to share is actually give you guys some examples of, other than this, of things that you can like focus on staying consistent with. These are just kind of like an outline. Like, these are like the 4 productive DMOs that you can start to implement around your business for yourself. But I want you guys to think about this last thing. Okay. When it comes to creating some sort of like consistency with your habits in your life, I want you to ask yourself, don't just focus on, oh man, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing this. I want you to really take the time to write down what are some things that you're already doing right now to implement being productive and growing yourself. Okay. Growing your life, where you're going. I'm going to give you guys some examples that I'm doing right now. Okay. Right now, every single week I'm investing, every single week I'm investing into my crypto portfolio. Every single week I'm investing into my crypto portfolio. That's number one. Been doing that for God knows how long. That's just something that is a lifestyle for me. Every week I'm investing into my portfolio. Second thing is I'm saving every single week. I put a little bit less money into my savings account, more in my crypto portfolio, but I put a little bit into my savings every single week. Okay. Trying to buy a house over here. Come on. So that's number two. Number three is I'm just started to do this, but I've been consistent with it. I'm depositing money into my trading account every month, not every week, but every month. Okay. I do this and I hear a lot of the Go Live educators talk about this. And I'm like, and I never really like would pay attention to it, but man, like it's very important because I don't know, it's like I just noticed like I'm not as attached to my money when I do that. It's weird, but you just got to do it for yourself to know. Okay. That's number three. The second one is I'm prospecting at least 10 people every single day, no matter what. I'm showing the plan 2 times a day, minimum, no matter what. Following up with my exposures. Okay. Reading 5 pages. And these are things that I've been like consistently doing. Okay. Audio for at least 10 minutes, whether it's in the car, whether it's on a walk, I'm doing dishes, I'm listening to an audio for 10 minutes minimum. And then the last thing is adding value on my social, whether it's on my story or it's on my newsfeed. Now, I just wrote down, I literally just put this together, this part this morning, but I wrote down a few things that I want to work on, like I am actively working on, I'm just not consistent with yet, okay? And I'll be accountable for this first one because I've been all over the place. I find myself being all like literally like I'm not as consistent as I want to be with working out and being active. This is something that I'm focused on, like that I'm focusing on getting consistent with and being productive in that area. Okay. Working out and just being active in some way, shape, or form every single day. Second thing is like, yeah, I'm waking up, but I'm not waking up when I want to wake up. I think Alex said it earlier in the chat, like waking up early. I want to make waking up 4:30, 5 a.m. a lifestyle. It's not just like, oh, I hope I wake up at this time tomorrow. It's like, no, I'm going to wake up at that time tomorrow because that's who I am. Okay. And then the last thing I wrote is posting every day on social. I want to get to that point where I'm posting pretty much every single day on my social media, not because I want, like, not just to post on social media every day, but because I have value to bring. And I know that that's what's going to help me build my business. And that's why I'm doing that call tomorrow. And I do plan on sharing with you guys what I learned from the call to maybe help you guys. But we can't get all this information, not do anything with it. So I've kind of shared a lot with you guys. I really wanted to just kind of give you some sort of like direction of creating like this lifestyle for yourself around growth and being productive. I don't know where you're at right now in your life. Only you know that, truly. Only you truly know. I told Tony the other day, it's kind of weird, but I told him the other day on our call, I was like, look, dude, like I wake up in the morning and I look at myself with no clothes on, right? And I told him that because I want to truly look at myself authentically. There's no judgment. It's not like, oh, like, you know, you look this, and that way or whatever. It's like, I do that because I want, like, it's the first thing that I'm doing in the morning alongside of goals and gratitude and whatever, writing those things down and visualizing like where I'm going. But it's just, I don't know. It's like, it's just different. I forget what audio I listened to it in, but I challenge you to try that. You don't have to do it every day, but just try it one day. And it's just, I don't know, it just gives you a level of appreciation. It's like full authenticity, full accountability, full ownership of like, all right, this is where I'm at. And the same way it can be with your bank account. The same way it can be like financial situation and physical situation can show you a lot about your habits, your beliefs, your mindset. Okay. From where you were 90 days ago, 120 days ago. You may be a different person now and you're changing that. You're doing the damn thing. Okay. But it'll show you where you were 3 to 6 months ago, maybe even 12 months ago. And it'll give you, and hopefully it'll light a fire under your ass wherever you're at. All right, cool. Let's run it. Or maybe you're like, yeah, I'm good, but we can do better, whatever it may be. So I want to share that with you guys. I know a little awkward. Hopefully none of y'all had a picture in your head. All right, we're going to end this call. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys for being here. All 11, I think there's 12 on here, but all 11 of you guys, 10 of you that are with us today. Let me know after you get this information, you process it, you kind of evaluate for yourself. Don't be afraid to take a couple steps back. Don't be afraid to, you know, self-reflect and evaluate yourself. Like really take the time to do that. Don't stay there, but like take the time to do that. I've been reading in Gary Vee's book. You guys, you know, shout out to Nick Fantasia. He gave that book to pretty much all of us. I've been reading it And he really talks about just like playing the long game. And like I have so much like peace because I'm patient with myself. I have so much peace because I have the humility to recognize, I can start over if I'm not financially right. And I don't have to like think about, oh, what are other people going to think of me? Like, it's not even about that. And I am wanting to like start to think that way because this is like next level emotional like intelligence. And anyways, I'll go on a tangent with that, but I just want to say I appreciate you guys for being here. I hope that you got the value that you needed. I hope that you came to this call not just seeking out information for yourself to apply, but also having the approach of, man, how can I eventually go and teach this? Okay. So I love y'all. Let's crush our Saturday. Let's do the damn thing this week. And I'll talk with y'all later. Peace.